Hello everyone, fellow classmates. I'm Rod Kwiaczynski. It's nice to be in front of you again. I want to bring forth a few facts and a couple of statistics and a personal story involving healthcare here in the U.S. My purpose is to bring forth these facts, stats, and my personal story to offer perspective and some understanding to our current situation. In today's market-based system, it affords us many advances and conveniences, but at what cost? Who wins, who loses, and who's left out? I want to begin with a personal story that happened to me in the fall of 2016. So in October of 2016, I developed a serious and life-threatening blood clot in my left leg. I didn't have insurance at that time, but I was still able to get in and see my doctor. Upon evaluation and examination, my doctor prescribed the current, most available anticoagulant on the market. I promptly limped downstairs to get that prescription filled, and I explained to the pharmacist as I handed it to him that I didn't have insurance, but I needed it filled. After 10 minutes, he called me over and said, "Are you sure you really want to get this prescription filled?" And I said, "Absolutely, I want to get it filled." And he said, "Well, without insurance, this prescription for 45 days of once-a-day injections is $11,000. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was kidding. He showed me the computer and he wasn't kidding. So how is that possible? How is this acceptable? Right at that moment, the weight and gravity of the U.S. healthcare system landed in my lap. So prescriptions and treatment, how do we afford the cost? I thought to myself this was insane, so I immediately went back up to my doctor, explained the situation, told him the cost, and he was stunned. He didn't even have words. So we scrambled for a second medication. He prescribed 45 days of Lovenox injections, which is a one-day injection, and that 45-day plan of Lovenox was $3,700 in 2016. Today it's $1,600, yet in Canada, that same medication is $490, and in Mumbai, India, it's $240 for a 45-day supply. That is not acceptable. So in a story that aired on KSL News locally on October 30th of this year, it showcased a company, PEHP, which is a Utah public insurer, that sends its critical medication patients across the border to get those prescriptions filled. Why? Because they save thousands and thousands of dollars by doing so. In the U.S. currently, a 90-day supply of Avenox, which is the latest MS medication to handle symptoms of MS, is $20,000. $20,000. In Mexico, that prescription is $6,600. So PEHP will fly their patients to San Diego, put them up in a nice hotel, give them a $500 cash spending bonus, give them a chauffeured escort across the border to Tijuana to a pre-selected pharmacy, fill the prescription, bring them back to San Diego, fly them back to Salt Lake City, and save $13,000. So let's talk about emergency room care. In a study completed in 1996, it showed that for every patient that receives trauma care in the ER and after treatment pays that bill, whether out of pocket or by insurance, 100%, the next trauma case coming into the ER goes unpaid, and the hospital does not collect on that treatment. How does the hospital absorb that cost, that loss? They don't. They pass that on to you. They pass that on to the next ER trauma case coming in. They pass it on to that patient. In an article published in the Annals of Surgery It states, what is the risk of an individual between the ages of 18 and 64? How likely is it that they will suffer a catastrophic health event or a CHE? And that study showed that 7 out of 10 individuals between 18 to 64 years old will suffer a CHE, and that CHE will be equal to or greater than 40% of that individual's post-incident annual income. That is not acceptable in this country. So let's talk healthcare and life expectancy in the U.S. In a study published in The Lancet in April of 2014, that study collected data from 35 industrial nations on the projected life expectancy increase between 2010 and 2030 on individuals. And in that study, the U.S. ranked 25th. 25th! Think about that for a second. How can this be? How is it possible when politicians and citizens continue to brag and talk about how great the U.S. is and that we're the greatest country in the world, and no one can argue or disagree that we don't have the best health care or best treatment facilities and technology on the planet? We do. A lot of the innovation come out of this country. But is it because people can't access that care or people can't afford that care? Is that why we're 25th on that study? There has to be a connection. So in conclusion, I hope that I could bring to light some of the challenges of healthcare in the U.S. That being able to afford and access that care should not bring on a financial ruin event in the individual's life. We must continue to lobby for change and push for reform in the treatment, insurance, and pharmacology industries if we want to move into the top 10 in that study. So I hope that I brought some facts and statistics in the front. I hope that this will help you, motivate you to take action and lobby for change and make a difference.